Hello, and welcome to my Journal 2 response.
First, I would like to start with a quote from Virginia Burden Tower. She states, "Cooperation is the thorough conviction that nobody can get there unless everybody gets there." This means that it is the ethical responsibility of each team member to follow through with their own individual duties, along with the leader's job to emphasize and foster ethical accountability in order for all the followers to understand their moral responsibility in following through with their work. With this said, it is also important to mention that leaders need to understand they are not the only person who has a say. They can guide their followers and the other team members to success, to motivate them, to encourage them, but they are not the only person who can have power in the dynamic. Everyone can relate to being in some kind of group dynamic in their life, and most people can relate to that being a negative experience. This oftentimes comes from leaders or other group members acting unethically and abusing their powers. This counters a cohesive and successful work environment, which is ultimately the goal of what everybody in the group is working towards. Groups have shared goals that they try to work towards, but oftentimes individuals will focus on their own goals, act selfishly, or try to socially loaf. As a follower within a group, you must recognize your responsibility to the group as a whole and how the success of the group as a whole ultimately affects your success as an individual. As a leader, it is your responsibility to foster a sense of obligation and drive within your followers so that they stay on task and are more likely to work cooperatively. If this is achieved, it creates a positive loop where the members of the group are working hard, achieving success, the group as a whole is achieving success, which then encourages followers to continue that success, and it just goes on and on. Other benefits of this positive loop are listed in our textbook on pages 354 and 355. The list is as following. It will generate more creative ideas, tactics, and solutions, transform more learning from the group to individual members, which will then be more positive about the task, and they will spend more time working on the task. More willing to take on difficult tasks and to persist in the face of difficulties, they will retain more information and engage in higher-level reasoning and more critical thinking. Here are 6 ways a leader can promote more ethical and cohesive behavior within a group. 1. Emphasize the responsibility of each member to work cooperatively. 2. Structure the task so that the only way to succeed is if everyone succeeds. 3. Make sure everyone is rewarded for their contributions. 4. Give feedback on what members are doing well and what they can improve on. 5. Encourage team members to assist one another during their individual tasks. 6. Create time for the group to come together and reflect on how well things are working and what needs to be improved on. It is also incredibly important to have ethical communication skills and tactics, which include critical listening, supportive communication, emotional intelligence, productive conflict management, and expression of minority opinion. On a more personal note, I have experienced positive ethical groups in my sorority. I'm an officer within my sorority where there's about 20 of us to lead the sorority in decision makings and represent us in various actions. I have never been a part of such an important and amazing group that works well through feedback, communication, and truly all of us depending on one another to fulfill our tasks and feel the responsibilities and the obligations of succeeding within our group and within our goals. I would also like to add that a large part of our sorority success is the leadership of our president, who gives good feedback, who encourages all team members, who encourages us to encourage each other, and to create time for group reflection on what we've done well and what we can improve on. And yeah, that concludes my response for journal number 2.